Welcome to a special Canadian Bowl edition of the BCFC Coaches Show. It's the Grey Cup of Canadian Junior Football, as the BCFC champion Vancouver Island Raiders are on the road to face the Prairie Football Conference champion, the Saskatoon Hilltops. Combined, these two teams lost just twice during the 2010 campaign, the Raiders finishing with an overall record of 12-1, while the Hilltops completed the season 9-1. Over the course of the last four Canadian Bowls, these two teams have won all four of them. The Raiders winning in 2006, 2008, and last season, while the Hilltops won in 2007, which was their 13th national championship. Both coaches have been here before, as Raiders head coach Matt Blokker explains how his team is feeling heading into their third consecutive national championship.
Well, I think our team feels great, man. I mean, how catchy. You're in the national championship, and we get to be together ever since Tuesday night, so... and we're eating well, right? So anytime these guys get to eat well, they're pretty happy. So we're having lots of fun.
Third straight appearance in the Canadian Bowl. Have you seen guys, your veterans like Jordan Yance and Ranji Atwell, kind of take the younger guys aside, calm any nerves that they may be feeling?
I think a little bit that way. You get it. But, I think once you win a championship, and this year, especially winning the BCFC championship, was huge for our team. And we take a lot of our, confidence in who we are from that win. And, that makes everybody a champion. So right now we don't look at anybody being rookies or any of that kind of stuff. We've won two championships this season, and we got a chance for a third. And, we're going to be nervous because it matters that much to us. But I think our young guys that way have a ton of confidence in themselves right now.
It's interesting. You look at experience, and they say experience wins football games. The last 4 years, the Raiders and Hilltops have won every championship. Does that mean experience is going to equal each other out?
Yeah, one thing you got to take for granted here is, or you can't take for granted, 100% is, how much experience this Hilltop team has, top to bottom, from presidents, owners, everything, right? So, you can't take that for granted. They have so much experience. And, for us, we've both been in this game, so I don't think it's going to be overwhelming to either team in any which way or any fashion. So, I think from that side, it kind of equals itself out.
As you watch film on the Hilltops, anything that you can exploit through the air with Yance or on the ground with Botel?
Well, first thing we see is one hell of a good football team.
Yeah.
So they're good at all phases. They got a great backfield, defensive backfield, and their front seven is probably as good as anybody's in the league. So what we have to try to do and what we see is an opportunity for us to be a little bit balanced. And we have to create that against this team, and it's the only way you can put together some drives and hopefully finish at the end with some points.
Can you draw anything from the last time you played them in 2008?
Absolutely, of course you can. From us, our viewpoint of it is that we've faced this great team and this great organization before, and now we understand a little bit how they play, and we also understand how much it means to this city and this organization. To be champions. So that's the biggest thing, is understanding how important it is, to be a champion. And that's huge for the Hilltops. And you got to respect that, and you got to respect your opponent. And, now that we've done it before and everything else, I think it gives us a little more comfort zone knowing that, number one, you're going to play against a great team, and you've got to prepare for 60 minutes. And if you don't, it'll be over. Last year, you were the home team in the Canadian Bowl. This year, you're the road team. Does that make a difference? Oh, of course. It's two completely different, ways of preparing. There's no doubt about it. And to be at home, for us, I know last year to be at home and in front of our fans and in our environment and all our family members, everybody gets to be there. And not only that, of course, you got to travel with way less players than you do when you're at home. So not to have those guys for the final practices of the week. And so, it's a big difference on how you prepare. So, we know it's like the advantages, so we're hoping that we prepared our players right to understand the disadvantages of being on the road and being prepared for it.
The Saskatoon Hilltops are back in the national final for the first time since 2007 and sixth time under head coach Tom Sargeant. As a matter of fact, 2007 was also the last year the Hilltops hosted the Canadian Bowl. Coach Sargeant tells us that his players have been looking forward to this football game.
Well, they're pretty excited. At the beginning of the year, you had a pretty good sense if you won your league, you'd be hosting, and I guess the job of the coach a lot of the time was keep the boys focused at the job at hand, and that's just worrying about the next game. And the reality is it's here now. The city's really rallying behind us, and it's going to be a pretty exciting feel leading up to Saturday at 1 o'clock at Griffith Stadium.
Coming into this season, knowing the BCFC would host the Canadian Bowl, does that help recruiting at all and change your coaching style at all?
No, not at all. You know, we've had a blueprint for a lot of years, and we don't change for anything. We're pretty regimented in our approach, what we believe in. And at the end of the day, I recruit Saskatchewan kids. I'm not one to go look out elsewhere if people phone, and we'll certainly give them an opportunity. But if it's close, I always keep the Saskatchewan kid in my roster this year. That's all we're about, and that's all we have. So, you know, at the end of the day, we're very loyal to Saskatoon here and to rural Saskatchewan. And as long as I'm the guy, I'll continue to do that because, you know, I guess that's one of the reasons we're heading into our 6th Canadian final in my tenure.
Yeah, well, I want to ask you about that. I mean, this organization is certainly no stranger to the Canadian Bowl. How will this year's squad, draw from that?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, it's each team creates their own identity, and I just love this football team. There's something about them when adversity or crisis shows up, they just rise above and keep marching forward. And this is a very physical football team, a very focused football team, a very determined football team. And, you know, we set some lofty goals at the beginning of the year, and like I said, we're real close to our goal becoming a reality. So that's certainly a credit to them, their focus and their work ethic. And as I said, the coaches I were talking the other night, it's just a great bunch of men to coach.
Well, let's look at your opponent. What do you know about the VI Raiders?
Well, we know they're high talent level. You know, they're certainly they're well coached. You look at their coaching staff and their pedigree. They're the 2-time Canadian champs. So, you know, the spotlight's on them, not on us, and we're okay with that. You know, but they earn and deserved everything that they get. And you know, the video that we saw, we saw a lot of talent, a lot of playmaking, good schemes, putting their players in good spots, and they know how to get the job done. So, you know, anytime you have that type of pedigree and those proven winners all around the field, that's, you know, like I said, you're going to be good, and that's exactly what they are. They're a good football team.
Well, how have you prepared for them?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, I always say we certainly gave our players a sense of what we can expect from them from their formations and try and get a good test in their athletic set. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about us, and we really worry about what we're continuing to do to get better. And you know, I try and coach a little more internal and you know, try and keep improve and keep drawing on you know, some of the good things we've done. Maybe add a few things here or there to maybe take advantage of what they do offensively or defensively or special teams.
Well, what are some of the things that the Hilltops need to do to have success?
Well, number one, we need to come out and play our physical brand of football. That's the first thing we need to do, and when we do that, we're a pretty tough team to beat. Number two, we need to be, you know, ball security. We need to be strong on the ball, and on the other hand, our defense needs to fly around and attack the ball, and you know, and then for me, always third thing in a Canadian final, special teams. And we believe we have the best special teams in the PFC. We believe the PFC, the league itself, has really battle-tested us and gotten us ready for this opportunity. So, you know, we're not only representing the Saskatoon Hilltops in the great city of Saskatoon, we're representing the Prairie Football Conference, and that's a real honor for us as well.
The 2010 Canadian Bowl will kick off Saturday morning at 11 BC time as the Raiders look to continue their reign on top of the Canadian Junior Football League and keep the title right here in BC. Catch the video stream at viraiders.ca. Enjoy the championship. Until next time, I'm Ryan Waters.